I just a little
Welcome to the
baby.
50/50 Pod, man. My name is Hayden,
I'm Teddy.
and hey, let's talk about it. We had a lot of interesting stuff that happened this week in the world of sports, but first, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we shared with you guys. Teddy, if you want to take it away and talk about what we did for Monday.
Yeah, I'll start our week off on Monday. We started off with a little motivational Monday post. Went behind the scenes of our guy Tom Brady. He had an interview with the man Vic Blends not too long ago, and he shared his 2 cents about what motivates him, how he got through all his trials and tribulations, and his whole mindset behind it all. And it was really cool to hear Tom Brady's 2 cents about how he thinks he became the greatest quarterback of all time.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And I'm not gonna lie, man, when you called me earlier this week saying for the motivational Monday you wanted it to be Tom Brady, at first I'm like, Tom Brady. I'm like, what has he really said? But then when I saw that clip that you posted and that you wanted to talk about, I was moved, man. Tom Brady is a stone cold killer, bro. And there's no lies in that. But if we're going to talk about people that are not Stone Cold Killers, we have the post for you on Tuesday. We talked about terrible drafting the Pistons made. Went ahead and used the number 2 overall pick to draft Darko Milicic in the 2003 draft. And you may think, whatever, bust happened, but he was selected over Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, who all became superstars. But we talk a lot more about that on the Tuesday video right there. And the Wednesday video, my guy Teddy took it away.
Yeah, with Wednesday this week for the what if, we went down the rabbit hole of what if Derrick Rose did not absolutely explode his ACL in that playoff game. General consensus, we think that man would have at least one, if not many more rings. And the whole landscape of the NBA as we know it today would be very much different if Derrick Rose never um, had to lighten up because of his injury.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Derrick Rose had arguably one of the best primes of all time. And I mean, with the team that was surrounded with him, with a young Jimmy Butler, Joakim Noah, Carlos Boozer, Rip Hamilton, Kyle Korver, like, dude, they in
Just to
that.
name a few.
Yeah, hey, just to name a few. And just that season, I believe it said they went, I think it was 52 and 16. I think it was 52 and 16. I could be off. My math could be a little wrong there, but they were first in the East. They were whooping teams all that season. They definitely would have got to the Eastern Conference Finals to face the Heat and LeBron, I think that year for sure. But something I was thinking about a lot. Um, if Derrick Rose and the Bulls had knocked out the LeBron and the Heat in that Eastern Conference Finals, would that big three have still stayed together? Because if you think about it, the year prior, the Heat lost to the Mavericks in the finals pretty badly. And at that point, I was like, whoa, like what's going on here? You guys are supposed to win
Are
this.
they a big three?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and to go in that second season, if they were to get eliminated by the Bulls, that's just another rabbit hole to go down if what the hell would happen. But it was a great video overall, greatly produced by my man Teddy. For Throwback Thursday, we had to do the boy Blake Griffin just in honor of his retirement.
Had to.
And I don't know about
Lob
Teddy.
City.
Lob City, brother. I don't know about Teddy, but I feel like an old man. I feel like I remember seeing him get drafted and seeing him in the dunk contest. So it's
Oh, the dunk contest will live in infamy forever, bro.
and I remember people were mad that he jumped over the car like sideways or whatever, over the hood, I guess. But it's like, come on, man, he's jumping over a car. Like, let just let it be. Now we're seeing some boring shit. But hey, man, hats off to the boy Blake Griff right there.
Yeah, that man was always electric to watch. You could prime Blake Griffin era, you could turn on any middle of the week, dead time of year Clippers game, and it would be the most electric basketball game you had ever seen.
Okay, okay. Good question for you. Good question for you right here. So, if you are an NBA defender and
Hmm.
you're standing under the rim and you're caught on the bad side of a lob, who would you rather want catching that lob on you? Would you rather want Blake Griffin catching that lob? Or I was gonna say DeAndre Jordan, but I feel like Blake Griffin's a for sure win over that. So I'm gonna say Blake Griffin or LeBron. Who would you rather have catch a lob on you, bro?
Fuck.
That's a tough one because I feel like a lot of people just go right off the bat and say LeBron, but I don't know, man. Blake Griffin was throwing that thing down in his prime.
I as the person standing under the rim,
Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
I'm gonna pick LeBron just because that man's like 40 years old. Like, and he's still
Well,
playing
I'm
right
saying
now.
in their
Like, I'm
prime. I'm saying in their primes.
okay. So
If we're
like, so
talking about
like Heat LeBron.
Heat LeBron and Clippers Blake Griffin. Man, I'd rather have, I know I sound crazy, but Heat LeBron would dunk on me over Clippers Blake Griffin. Clippers Blake Griffin was way bigger than LeBron. Bro, he got way more up. And his prime, like
That's true.
his sole identity was throwing that thing down. But
Yeah.
like if you're like standing anywhere close to the rim and Blake Griffin has the ball in a jumping motion, make a business decision, just move out the way. Like
Yeah, get out the way. Save your family. You got kids at home, bro.
oh God, bro. But that leads us to this Saturday, Teddy. If you want to talk about what we're doing tomorrow, the day this will be posting, it'll be tomorrow's post. What we're going to be doing for the draft. If you want to take that away.
Yeah, so for the draft, we're pretty much just gonna go over all the first round picks and give them a our personal grade on how we think they did in terms of who they ended up getting versus who they could have gotten. And I'm expecting to see some very interesting trade ups and trade downs, which I can't wait to analyze and grade those moves as well. I just really hope that none of those trade ups or trade downs involve the Chargers number 5 pick.
I can, yeah, I 100% agree with you. It is going to be super interesting. And I have to say, it's been a while since I've been this excited for the draft. And I'm
Oh
pumped.
yeah.
And just to go on a little side rant, I mean, we're looking at possibly Caleb Williams being locked as a number one pick, like for sure. And it's almost as if the Bears don't pick Caleb Williams. It's like, what are we doing here? What was the point of trading Justin Fields and building this super team if we're not going to draft this guy? But also, something I want to talk about the Bears have done a great job this offseason building their team. And they weren't half bad last season. You know, they did struggle, but they were definitely in the middle of the pack, I would say. And now they've added names like Keenan Allen. They've added, gosh, I can't remember the two running backs names they've added, but they added them. They're gonna get Caleb Williams, but not only do they have the first overall pick, they have the ninth overall pick as well. And they could either trade that for another asset or they could go ahead and draft somebody that could potentially do Caleb Williams a favor on the field. So I think that's very interesting.
They have the they have 2 first round picks and they have the 1 and the 9.
Yep, they have the 1 and a 9. They have a lot of picks this year, man.
That's
They
fun.
they
In
did.
this draft, that's crazy stock.
Yeah, yeah, man. So it's a it's gonna be interesting to watch. It hurts seeing how well they're doing considering they've went and grabbed my boy Keenan Allen, but you know, that's that's how it goes, I guess. But
I think this will be the most interesting draft since the one with Tua, Joe Burrow, and Justin Herbert.
oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm super pumped about it. And to kind of go further into the football news of this week, not even just about the draft, but just a little side topics here and there.
Colts defensive tackle DeForest Buckner re-signs a 2-year, 46 million extension. That's the second very massive defensive tackle contract we've had in the last week or two.
Yeah, that's big money right there. That's big money. And
Who was it last week that also got a that big D line contract?
That would be the Panthers defensive tackle, Derek Brown. He signed he definitely got a bigger contract. He signed a 4 year, 96 mil extension with 60 mil or 63 mil, I'm sorry, guaranteed.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's big money right there. But
All them those D line boys are finally getting paid.
yeah, but hey, if we're gonna talk about people getting paid, that next one we got the Eagles. They extended their boy, if you want to talk about that one right there.
Yeah, Eagles extend Devontae Smith to a 3-year contract with 51 million of it being guaranteed.
Hell yeah. I mean, Devontae is I don't know if many people seen his story, but he was counted out a lot. He was a short little skinny kid, and a lot of people counted him out when it came to playing sports, and especially when it came to being a receiver. A lot of people didn't think he had what it takes, but he's doing it. He's getting paid for it, so I think that's dope, man.
Yeah, I got to put on for the short guys.
Hey, short kings, correction. But yeah, also to talk about some receivers in the league, Justin Jefferson and CD Lamb did not attend the start of their team voluntary workouts. I don't know, that's making everybody raise some eyebrows, but it does cause some concern, especially around Justin Jefferson. His name was involved in a lot of trade talk this offseason, so we'll have to see what's gonna happen with him, man. But I wouldn't be surprised if this season or possibly next we see him in a different uniform.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. I I can't tell what would make me more surprised if he leaves before this next season starts or if he stays until the contract's like really done.
Yeah. But yeah, man. And CeeDee Lamb, I don't really know what that's about. I think possibly he's just gotten to the point of a stardom level within his team that he maybe doesn't think he doesn't have to be there. But, in my personal opinion, I feel like they should be there, especially the big guys, because they're supposed to set the example for the team. And especially the Cowboys too, man. The Cowboys went out sorry in the playoffs, man. Losing to the Packers like that, not making any moves in the offseason. Unless CeeDee Lamb wants out, there's no reason he shouldn't be there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see also what never mind.
Alrighty. Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
Chargers
think I think I know where you're going with that.
the Chargers signed former Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins to a 1-year contract just for 1 year, just one.
Hey, but that's dope though, man. We got two former Ravens running backs tearing it up in the backfield.
We got a lot of former Ravens players and
Yeah.
coaching staff.
Yeah, and it should be exciting, man. I was a little nervous about the Chargers run game with just Gus Edwards, but J.K. Dobbins getting brought to the team. He came off an injury, so I know he's looking for a big year to bounce back, and especially off a 1 year contract, because if he does great, then awesome. Maybe he can go get some big money elsewhere, or maybe with us. But I think it's a good signing overall. But talking about changes and new things, the Texans and Broncos did unveil some new uniforms they're dropping for the season. And to talk about the Texans, I personally like their uniforms. I think they're fire. I think they're clean. And I like
Texans unis are fire.
yeah,
I
and
know
I like
Sketch is really happy about them.
I know he's already ordering them. But but yeah, man, I like how they're kind of just changing the culture around there big time. Because if we remember a couple years ago, they were the worst team in the league, not even talked about in this discussion. So it's cool to see them surround themselves with all this great talent and to put some new unis on their back to change it up on the field. But I know you did talk about the Broncos and what they looked like.
Bro, the Broncos unis, in my opinion, if you go and you look at pictures of the uniforms from the show Blue Mountain State,
We'll put
all
a
my people who know
we'll
what
put,
that show is,
we'll put a picture.
fucking the new Broncos unis look dead like all three of the different colorways of the Blue Mountain State jerseys. It's almost like identical. I think it's pretty funny. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose, but
Yeah, and dude, I'm gonna skip over these two. We'll touch back on it, but I'm going on to this topic just because it does relate with the Broncos. But Zach Wilson got sent over to the Broncos, man. And man, I'm 50-50 about 50-50 for media,
Hey,
that's us. But I'm 50-50 about Zach Wilson, man. He's still a young prospect. He does have some potential. It does suck that he got traded because, to be honest, last year was supposed to be a perfect situation for him. Sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, learning and just basically getting his knowledge up from one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And he got hurt and kind of thrown into a situation where he wasn't ready for. And so that kind of sucks.
he at the start, he was doing pretty good for himself though.
Yeah. Yeah,
He was
man.
doing very good for himself in when you take into account like the situation that he had to step into at
Yeah.
that time. But one thing that I'm still like confused about was how like the Jets season ended. Like I was like, wait, like why isn't Zach Wilson playing these last couple games for the Jets? Like I was very confused as
Yeah.
to all of that.
Yeah, that was a weird thing going on where they just kind of refused to play him. And then there was word saying that now he doesn't want to play and all this and that. But you never know with those things. And I don't know. It sucks,
Were
Aaron.
those early signs of him wanting to go?
I don't know, man, because the fans were quite brutal on him.
Oh yeah.
The team overall in itself is
Well, I
not
mean, first of all, when you're the New York Jets, you're just going to be pissed at everyone because you're the New York Jets. That's just how it is.
actual.
Second of all, when you're the New York Jets and you all of a sudden get Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah. And then
you're super stoked on life and everything about it. Preseason, all that, you're amped, you're amped, you're amped. And then the first game, not even 4 plays into it, he blows up his leg.
yeah.
And if you're a Jets fan, you're like, dang, what the fuck? We're
Yeah.
still the Jets.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And yeah, and the Broncos quarterback room isn't looking good either with even with Zach Wilson. They got a bunch of no names on that squad, but that's why I want to talk about them a little bit with their new uniforms. I don't even know what the hell they're doing over there, but
Man, at this point, they need Thad Castle.
yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, man, off the Broncos though, if you want to take it away with the next topic, feel free, my boy.
Yeah, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. This one I'm really excited for because low key at the start of this project, this was at first going to be like a What If Wednesday topic that I wanted to
Mhm.
cover. But with the recent developments with NCAA, all the NIL deals and all that stuff, our main man, Reggie Bush, finally his Heisman was reinstated to him. I think it was literally today.
Yeah, it was this morning, actually.
This morning, news broke. The NCAA finally realized how far their head was up their own ass. And they're like, wow, yeah, we need to give this back to this man.
Yeah. It was crazy considering like the stuff Johnny Manziel did.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel has even stated himself what he did was worse than whatever Reggie did, which was just basically nothing. I mean, those guys deserve to get paid for being at the star caliber that they were because
Yeah. Come on.
the NCAA is profiting off of those big names. Why can't they profit off themselves? Like it's kind of whack. And I know they talk about they're paying for school and stuff, but just because they're paying for school doesn't mean their everyday life outside of
Those football programs are the reason why those schools have any students going to them in the first place.
yeah. Yeah,
So
man.
if anything, all those players on those sports teams have just as much to do with the amount of money the school is getting in total and the amount of enrollment as any of the faculty do. I'd
Yeah.
say even more so.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy they did it. They finally I don't know what they just woke up this morning and were like, "Hey, let's give Reggie his Heisman back. Let's just do it. Like, fuck it. Like,
I mean,
or
they
what
they they
happened?"
they probably knew they had to do something once they received their 1 million and one death threats.
Yeah, yeah, but hey, man, props to that man Reggie for getting his Heisman back. We're proud of the kid. He's from San Diego as well. Helix High School, which is awesome. He played with Alex Smith, and so we're glad to see him get his Heisman back. Also for the USC fans as well.
Real quick about his Heisman,
Hmm.
do you think the trophy that they give him, do you think it's gonna be like the his actual one from way back when, or do you think they're gonna make him a new one and have it be all fresh, or you think they'll give him one with all the dents and scratches and they kick it and stomp on it before they give it to him?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I kind of hope they give him. He deserves a new one at this
He
point because
deserves a freshie, dude. Come
the
on.
old one means nothing anymore. It's like after all these years, like man played his whole NFL career,
At this point, they
retired.
should honestly give him two. They should give him the one that they actually did take
Yeah,
away back then, and they
yeah,
should give him like a new one reinstating it.
yeah. Just an apology one.
Yeah, straight
Well,
up.
here's an apology one. But yeah, man.
You have 1.5 Heisman's
Yeah,
now.
it's cut like
He gets like one full one and just the legs of the
yeah.
next one.
We couldn't afford two whole ones, so we did the best we could. Johnny Manziel said he agreed to give you half of his. But yeah, man, that's the football news for the week. Also, as a side note, Matt Ryan did retire. Shout out Matty Ice. But to go into something exciting right now, we got the NBA playoffs going on right now, man. And unfortunately for the Lakers fan that I am not doing too hot over here personally.
Me either.
Yeah. And I don't know if our fans have been watching too much of the playoffs, but right now I feel like maybe we can just both go over a side of the playoffs. You maybe can talk about the Western Conference. I can talk about the Eastern if you have a thing pulled up in front of you. If not, I can send you a picture.
Yeah, if you don't mind sending me that real quickly.
As of today, right here, we're on the 24th, and in our first seed versus eight seed matchup, we got the Celtics and Heat, and Boston is leading by one. Of course, we got to injure Jimmy Butler for that series, so obviously, he's gonna play an effect for the Heat. So the Celtics are up in that series, and then after that, we got our 4 and 5 seed being the Cavs and Magic. Currently, right now, Cleveland is leading in 2-0 against the Magic. That one, I mean, the Magic don't really have many scores on the offensive end. They do have a lot of good defense, but really on the offensive end, all they have is Paulo Banchero, and after a while, he's gonna run out. But then we got our 3 and 6 seed. We got the Bucks and Pacers that are currently tied 1-1 this series, which is honestly pretty interesting. We got Giannis not in that series, I believe, at the moment. I'm not sure if he's coming
So it's
back.
just Dame right now?
Yeah, it's just Dame time right now, man. And he lit it up game one. And it was a flashback to the moment where Tyrese Halliburton was doing the Dame time on them in the regular season when Pacers beat them. And Dame Lillard after the game said, "Be humble." And he showed him in game one, but Pacers came back, tied it up in the series. To wrap it up real quick for the Eastern Conference, we got the Knicks and 76ers, the 2 and 7 seed, and the Knicks are taking it away right now. They're leading 2-0 on Tom Thibodeau's freaking 40-minute playing team. Tom Thibodeau was the coach of Derrick Rose, by the way, when he did tear his ACL. And a lot of people blame him for playing Derrick Rose so many minutes. But yeah, we got that going on for the Eastern Conference side. It's not as exciting as the Western Conference, so we're gonna let my boy Teddy take it away from there.
Yeah, the Western Conference is active right now. There's a lot of ups, but there's almost equally as many downs, depending on what type of fan you are. But to start things off, we got the 1 seed versus the 8 seed. We got the Thunder versus the Pelicans. OKC's leading with 1-0. Thunder, they got a stacked young talent team. They got a lot of energy. They're gonna have a lot of stamina. It's gonna be hard to tire them out. But Pelicans, they got a lot of work cut out for themselves.
Yeah, man, that first game was pretty close. The Thunder barely closed it out in the end, but like you said, it'd be fun with that young, exciting team.
Yeah. Moving on to the more important games. The Clippers Mavericks game. I caught the end of that game, and I also watched uh the Suns Timberwolves game too. So those were really the games that I was really tapped into.
Mhm.
Luca, Luca, Luca. It was pretty much the Luca and Kyrie show.
Yeah.
It is the series is tied 1-1. I'm gonna be very interested to see how Paul George and Kawhi Leonard do what they do. Because I think it was their first game that they played. No one got over 100 points, and it was the first game that the Mavericks won by being under 100 points.
Yeah. Kawhi's return game.
So yeah, so Kawhi turned it up for game two. I think it was a lot higher of a scoring game, but yeah, Luke, I'm a Kyrie fan, and Luca's just doing Luca things. Luca's like mini Jokic, you know. As soon as you think of, man, he probably can't do that, you're just gonna watch him do that, and there's nothing you can do about it. Next game, 3 seed Timberwolves, 6 seed Suns. This one was a really good game. I tuned into this game a little bit into the third quarter. It was back and forth, neck and neck. Lead was going back and forth, back and forth. Suns were up 3, then they were down 3, then they were down 6, then they were down 12, and then they were down 20, and then the Timberwolves just pulled away and
Put them to bed.
put put KD and Devin Booker to bed.
Yeah. Ant's been going crazy, man.
Bro, and it's them new shoes, bro.
Oh,
It's
he's a
them new
dog.
shoes.
He's a dog.
Yeah, him and Cat, good duo.
Yeah. Very great duo. Yeah, no, he's they've been manhandling the Suns, man. The first game was exciting seeing Anthony Edwards shit talk Kevin Durant after pulling up for that three in his face. It was it's a once again feeling old moment. It's like goddamn, like no, like we
I know
used
it's like we're watching the torches being passed.
yeah, like it compared a photo when KD was cooking Kobe when Durant first came in the league, and now it showed Anthony Edwards and KD. I'm just like, man, what happened? Like now we're saying like Kevin Durant's like a old Kobe. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
like what's going on here?
yeah, so that's tough. But man, please, I'm gonna cover my ears about this next series because
Oh
God,
God.
man.
The 2 seed Nuggets, unfortunately, in the very first round, play the Lakers, the 7 seed Lakers. As a Lakers fan, it's very unfortunate we have to run into Denver this early in the playoffs. And it's not doing too hot right now. Denver leads 2-0. Jokic is doing Jokic things. There's literally, even if you were doing something about it, it the outcome would be no different. It's
Yeah,
Jokic.
and
Like,
yeah, not to interrupt you or anything here, but just to take something away real quick. I watched game two. I didn't watch game one because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel confident. I wasn't and I was right to not feel confident because the first game it was horrible. The second game, I'm like, you know what? I gotta support my team. I gotta watch, and we're doing good. It was a great game for the first three quarters. We were up 20. We're up 20 points at one point. And the fourth quarter came along and they were just hitting. And it was crazy. And just the simple fact, Anthony Davis beforehand, when the Defensive Player of the Year finalists were announced, he was mad that he was not a part of that conversation. But for that entire fourth quarter, I watched him get bullied by Jokic, play after play after play. And it's like, I get it. Jokic is Jokic. He's going to get those buckets. But at some points, it was just like, yeesh, man.
Yeah, like do
Like,
something.
like Jokic was backing him up and like essentially told him, like, get bigger. Like, you got to get stronger. And it's just like, bro, that's
He
the end
said,
of the
dude, I
game.
race horses.
I know, man. And I watched when Jamal Murray hit the game winner. I knew once the ball hit that little tiny motherfucker's hands that that shit was going in. And once I saw all the screens set and the AD switch, I knew he was getting bullied for the past like 4 straight minutes, and it wasn't going to be good. Jamal Murray hit him with a little hezzy, pull up for the mid-range shot and game winner to win by 2. So yeah, that's life as a Lakers fan right now, if anybody's wondering how that is. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's the NBA playoffs, and it's been exciting so far. We've had a lot of good moments, more specifically from the Western Conference side at the moment. Hopefully, after the first round, things spark up a little bit in the East, but that's the
I think
NBA.
the East will start to bring the heat round too.
No doubt, no doubt. And yeah, that's NBA playoffs. So man, is there anything else you'd like to add about that before we end it off here? We have
To be honest, man, I just want to fast forward to the draft tomorrow.
yeah, so let's sign off here. And so yeah, thank you for everybody for tuning in and watching. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate the continuous support on our videos. We are going to continue putting out a bunch of great videos for you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Teddy, you can take it away.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate, thank you guys for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, extra thank you.
Okay.
And yes, follow along, stay tuned for more sports everything.
Yes, sir. Hey, till next time.
Till next time.
I just a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit.
All right.